Humanistic psychology often preaches a gospel of pride and self-esteem. Humanistic psychology often preaches a gospel of pride and self-esteem. The therapist says you need to talk more, you need to think more about how good you are. You need to talk more and you need to think more about how valuable you are, all your accomplishments. You need to tell yourself how brave you are, how strong you are, how courageous you are. You're a survivor, whatever. You need to pump yourself up. You need to think positive thoughts. Think more positive thoughts. Look yourself in the eye, look yourself in the mirror, and tell yourself how great a person you are. But Jesus says that that is actually the path to humiliation and shame. Jesus says that's the path to humiliation and shame. He says, everyone that exalts himself will be, and the Greek word here, I just found out this week, I picked this parable because I thought it would work. It worked really well, and it worked even better, the Holy Spirit knew. It says that if you exalt yourself, Jesus literally uses a word that literally means depressed. Do you want to be depressed? Exalt yourself. Talk about how great you are. Mantra all your good deeds. I'm so great, I'm so good, I'm not as bad as them over there. Jesus says everyone who talks like that will be depressed. And we have a nation, a culture of depressed people. Sometimes this is done subtly by simply constantly focusing on yourself and focusing on how you feel. It's possible to exalt yourself by simply making yourself the center of your focus and concern. You say, well, I'm not thinking positive thoughts, I'm thinking negative thoughts all the time about myself. I'm so terrible, I'm a horrible mom, I'm a horrible wife, I'm not a good person, I'm awful, I'm disgusting. Okay, but you know what? The subject of every single one of those sentences is I. The center of your world is you. Now, I absolutely believe in true human compassion. And I want to come back to this as we go along. Jesus is a sympathetic high priest who sympathizes with us in our weakness. He is gentle. We know in the Gospels he is gentle with those who truly are brokenhearted and weighed down. And so I want to be clear that we need to have that kind of ministry for those who really have been destroyed like so many have in our modern world. But there's also a very freeing answer to I just feel bad, I feel awful, I don't know what I'm doing I'm terrible, I'm awful, I'm disgusting, I'm horrible, all these things. And sometimes I say this to people, and I try to say it as gently as I can, but what I want to say to you is, you're not that important. The world's going on without you. You know, it's actually terribly freeing, gloriously freeing to know you're not that important. You're just a person. Now, you're made in God's image. Your choices matter. I'm not taking back any of that. But if you're going through your day all day long, the world does not orbit around you. And it's really freeing to know that. It's really freeing to know, yes, you're just a person. You're just a guy. You're just a woman. You're made in God's image. That's glorious. But you know what? This world orbits around the triune God. This world orbits around Jesus Christ. He's the meaning of this world. Try starting all your sentences with Jesus. Think that way.